Okay, Slave Lake Mayor update here as of June 9th. Big announcements coming today in regards to the launch of Stage 2 of the province's recovery plan this Friday. So we saw Stage 1 announcements come. We saw Stage 1 launch here in the middle of May, and there was discussion about when it would happen in June, but they are moving it up. What's also interesting is the message that we're getting from the premier is things are going so well that things that were not supposed to come until Stage 3 are coming here now as well. So what does each detail mean? Let's talk about the big picture. The big picture, I guess, is that Alberta, the feeling is that they are doing well, and a lot of this is about capacity. As we move forward, what kind of capacity do we have to deal with COVID? Because it's important to remember that COVID still exists. It's still here. It's still going to be in Alberta. It's still going to come to Slave Lake until a bigger, longer-term solution is identified. That being said, we have to manage risk with healthcare, with system capacity, and that's really what we've been doing over the last couple of months. And so the health system does have a lot more capacity than it has had, and we also have a lot less people running around Alberta that have this, and we also have, regardless of whether we've bought into the system or not, the majority of the population has changed their habits, have changed their ideas, have changed their way they do business, the way they shop, the way they interact with people. And this is definitely flattening the curve and helps us to be able to open our doors and see the world again. And so once again, I want to thank Slave Lake. I think that this group's been fantastic. And in fairness, this is the only group I know. I haven't gone anywhere further than the landfill since March. I feel like Slave Lake is doing its part. Over the last few weeks, though, we definitely, with the great weather and the low risk in Slave Lake with having no COVID active cases, you can tell people have really relaxed. And so, as we move forward as a community, and I think that's where we need to focus our efforts, is, the restrictions, the pieces that we're going to have in place, our response, our attitude, our messaging as we move forward is going to be built around that number of cases. So the information we know today is that Slave Lake still has no active cases, which is great. We know that the premier has said, come Friday, Stage 2 launches, we will see the ability of businesses that have been closed to get open. Bear in mind, those businesses are just getting this announcement. They're still trying to figure out what that looks like. Give them some time to figure out what makes sense for them to be able to give you a safe product and for them to feel safe that their staff and them are able to deliver it. We're going to see bigger gatherings outside. We can see bigger gatherings inside. Increased testing. The province announced here a few weeks ago that they increased testing even if you have no COVID signs, you're not sick at all, but you think you may have been exposed and want to get tested. That ability still exists. AHS's website continues to be a great one to use to get up-to-date information. For businesses, the Biz Connect stuff that's on there that has some specific industry standard is some great information as well. The town has been doing a great job about keeping that updated on our own website, so we'll look there for that information. But I will say, without getting into too much detail, Slave Lake, you've been doing a fantastic job. The doors, the windows are going to open a lot wider than they have been. And I would caution us to continue to do a good job, continue to keep somewhat of social distancing, to keep somewhat of those safety precautions, to keep washing your hands and that sort of thing. It was crazy, actually. I was already getting emails. This stuff only came out a couple hours ago. I'm getting emails. When is the MRC opening? When are you guys putting ice in there? When is the pool going to be open? Don't have those answers yet. Us, like many of the businesses that are able to launch on Stage 2, although we're not 100% sure of what all the details in there, all the precautions and protocols that have to be in place. And so we have to kind of navigate some of that. We've had staff that we've laid off. We need to figure those pieces out. This is not going to happen overnight, but we will do our best to keep you informed as the days go on and in the days ahead. So Slave Lake, continue to be cautious. I know we are all wanting to get out there and see our friends, and there's definitely more opportunities to do so. And I think that that's a great way to do it. but continue to be cautious. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and keep it up. My mayor update of the day, and I know I haven't been doing a ton of these, but it is, a lot of them are directed around what's going on in the world, and so big announcements. So we're doing this today, and more opportunities to do so, and I think that that's a great way to do it, but continue to be cautious. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and keep it up. My mayor update of the day, and I know I haven't been doing a ton of these, but it is, a lot of them are directed around what's going on in the world, and so big announcements. So we're doing this today, and if you're just seeing us for the first time on Tuesday, we've got an update coming tomorrow where I'm sitting down with a staff sergeant tomorrow evening, talk about some policing stuff and things that are going on. And Chris is shaking his head, so I'm definitely doing something wrong. Thursday. Oh, Thursday. He says it's on Thursday. That's okay. I don't know. The days start to blur together. And you realize the days blur together, it's no different in mine. So really awkward, horrible communication pause there or whatever else. But Thursday, I'll be sitting down with the staff sergeant to go over that. We've been getting some questions. If you haven't had a chance to go on our town website, give us that feedback. We look forward to telling you about some of the frustrations we're encountering in our community policing and things that we're trying to work on. So we'll continue to provide updates as needed. And thanks for listening, guys.